Hello, everyone. We're continuing the laws of Pesach. Now, as we spoke before, on Pesach, Hametz is not permitted. And since we're used to eating Hametz during the whole year, since we're so used to the Hametz, that's why rabbis made it a little bit easier for us. They said a day before Pesach and night before Pesach, we should check our chametz. We should check our house or our property that we should not have a chametz. That we should make sure that there is no chametz. Why? Because we're so used to chametz, and it's very easy to miss the chametz, to miss it, and therefore we have to make checking a night before Pesach. We have to check our house, our properties, to make sure that we don't have any chametz. So this year it falls on Tuesday night, April 7th. It falls so at around 8:18, 8:15, 8:18. By when 3 stars come out, we could start doing b'dikat chametz. We have obligation to do b'dikat chametz now. So how do we do it? So the custom is to take a plate. We take a knife, so it should help us to search for chametz. You take a candle. Now you have to be careful that the candle. We know that the wax candle is a good candle, but there are some candles that they melt and they drip, and it's very difficult to check because you're afraid that it's going to drip and you won't be checking properly. If it's very difficult to use a candle, let's say it's dangerous to use a candle, let's say you have carpet and you're afraid that chas v'shalom it could cause fire, you could use a flashlight instead of candle. And then some hold, you should put a little salt also in your in the plate. But okay, now before we search for chametz, we make a blessing. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al bi'ur chametz. Yeah, the translation is Hashem. We bless Hashem for commending us. That commended us regarding burning of chametz. Okay, then we start searching our house. Now, there is a custom that to put 10 pieces of bread before we start searching the house, and each piece of bread should be very small. It shouldn't be big slice. It should be very small pieces, and we should spread it around the house, and we should search. We have to remember this. We're not searching for 10 pieces of bread only. We should be searching for chametz. We have to make sure that there is no chametz at home. Some people think it's like a game. Kids, they hide the chametz and the parents are looking for chametz. It's like hide and seek. No, it's not hide and seek. You have to look for chametz. Even if you did not put 10 pieces of bread for some reason, let's say, I don't know, for whatever reason, there is no, you did not put 10 pieces of bread, you still have to search for chametz, because you're making sure that there is no chametz in your house. So you shouldn't be only searching for 10 pieces of bread, but rather you have to make sure you search your entire house. And even if you're sure you have no chametz, even if you're sure that this room, certain room, you did not bring in chametz, you still have to search and make sure that there is no chametz. Okay, you search everywhere. You have to make sure. Now, also, people think you have to turn off the light when you search for chametz. That's wrong. That's a mistake. You have to turn on the light because you have to make sure that the house has no chametz, that the room has no chametz. Now, so why do you need a candle? Candle you need for the corners. Even though if you have a light, the light gives enough light, meaning that light illuminates the whole room. However, corners, all the small corners, the light doesn't go there. Therefore, you use a candle to search the corners, or let's say flashlight to search the corners to make sure that there is no chametz. Now, you should. Of course, you should, if you have young kids, if you have small kids, you should also check under the beds, under the behind the closet, because many times kids, they take cookies, they take any chametz, and they throw it under the bed, or they throw under the, even though you clean the house, even though you know there is no chametz, still you have to search. You have to, of course, like we said, under the bed and closet. You have to check the kitchen closets, the kitchen closets that you're going to use. You have to check them. You have to check every room, everywhere, every corner. You should check, make sure that there is no chametz, This is for our own benefit, that we should not be over, we should not come to sin of having chametz. Now, after you check the house and you make sure that there is no chametz, and let's say you found 10 pieces of bread also, so afterwards what we do is we'll put all the chametz, of course, in one place, in one corner, and we have to make bitul. Now, before, I forgot one more thing. We also have to check our cars. Our car, I know we use our car during Pesach. We have to check our car also. Now, you take your flashlight, you go to your car, and you check everywhere. Even though you know you cleaned it, you went to the car wash, they cleaned it for you, or you cleaned it yourself. Still, you have to make sure that there is no chametz. You go and you check your car. You make sure that there is no chametz, and then afterwards you make bitul. What's bitul? Bitul means you nullify it. You nullify the chametz, and you say these words. You say kol chamira dika birshuti dela chaziteh udla biarte lifti v'leve kafra da'ara. The translation is any chametz that exists in my possession that I had not seen and I had not destroyed should be renounced and should be like the dust of the land. Now, this you should say 3 times, and when you say it, it's not just a prayer, it's not just something that's religious observance. No, it's something that you have to mean it when you say it. When you say these words, you have to mean what you're saying. You are nullifying chametz. You are saying that the chametz that is in my possession should become nullified. It should become like a dust of the earth. And when you say this, kol chamira, you have to say it in the language that you understand. So if you understand English and you only said it in Hebrew and you did not understand a word that you said, you did not do anything. It's like you did nothing. So therefore, you have to say it in the language that you understand. You should read the translation, or you should read, let's say if a person understands Russian, then he should read it in Russian also in order to understand what he is saying. We should say it 3 times, and then put away our chametz. Let's say the chametz that we're going to eat in the morning, the next day that we're going to eat in the morning, we should put it away together, like put it on the side that we should not, with the chametz that we found, we should put it in a certain corner so we should not get lost, or let's say if you have kids, they shouldn't spread it out, or they shouldn't play with it. The next day, we have a mitzvah to do bi'ur chametz. We have a mitzvah to destroy the chametz. Now, till what time do you have a mitzvah to destroy? So, according to the Torah, you're not allowed to eat, the prohibition of eating chametz starts from the 6th hour of the day. Okay, rabbis prohibited eating chametz 2 hours before, 2 hours before the 6th hour of the day. Okay, so they said the first hour you could still eat the chametz, meaning the 4th hour you could still eat the chametz. From the 5th hour on, you're not allowed to have benefit from the chametz. You're not allowed to eat chametz, and you're not allowed to have benefit, but this is only rabbinically, you're not allowed to benefit from the chametz. But we have obligation to burn to destroy our chametz. How can you destroy the chametz? So there's a different ways of destroying. The custom is to burn the chametz. You take the chametz that you have, that you found, or whatever you have, the chametz that you're not selling. So you take that chametz and you burn it. You either burn it in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, you take it to the synagogue, to the shul. If this year no one's taking to the shul, let's say because of the coronavirus that we have, if they're not taking to the shul, or let's say for some reason a person himself cannot take it to shul, so then he could crumble the chametz and flush it down the toilet. That is also another way of destroying chametz. you have to destroy the chametz. So another way of destroying chametz is flushing down the toilet. Now, after we do this, after we destroy the chametz and we don't have chametz anymore, we make another bitul. We have to say the words of kol chamira again. We say kol chamira deikad b'rshuti dechazite udla chazite debiarte udla biarte liftil v'leve ke'afra de'ara, which means any chametz based substance that exists in my possession, that I have seen, as well that which I have not seen, and I have that I have destroyed, as well the which I have not destroyed, should be renounced and should be like the dust of the land. Now I will say this again 3 times, and one of the times we have to add another word. We have to add a word hefker, which means we say, and the chametz here, I'll translate again. We say hefker means ownerless. We say any chametz that exists in my possession, that I have seen, as well that which I have not seen, that I have destroyed, as well which I have not destroyed, should be renounced and should be ownerless like the dust of the earth. Now it's important to say the word also hefker one of the times when we say this, when we say these words, which means ownerless, because I'm saying that I should not, because I don't want to, even if I forgot certain chametz and I left it somewhere and I did not sell that chametz, or if I did not find that chametz, it should become ownerless, so I should not come to get, so it should be fine for me, and I should not come to get avera. If someone did not understand what he said, it's like he said nothing, like we said before. You have to say it, this renounce, this kol chamira, he should say it in the language that he understands. If it's in Russian, then he should say in Russian. In English, then he should say in English. But if he did not understand it, it's as though he did not say anything, and it's like he did nothing. And therefore he should understand. So after destroying chametz, he should say these words again. That's it. Have a nice day.